Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very, very well. Welcome back to another late night stream, another evening stream. Slightly late. I do apologize. I finished work later. I had dinner later. So that has eaten into the normal schedule. But listen, you can say what you want. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. And that's it. We are back. We are going to be previewing the United game today. We're also going to be talking about all of the latest Chelsea news regarding transfers, as well as obviously the players we already have within the squad. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support in any other way, you can by becoming a member of Chelsea Fan TV. So that is absolutely up to you. Let's dive into it. Let's get into all the latest stuff, guys. Leave in the comments as well what you'd like to talk about. We can touch on a number of things. One thing that has surprised me from the Chelsea side is there seems to be a sense of unity, actually, before the game against Man United. I think everybody's thinking the same thing. And that is, well, that's a nice change, isn't it? But even people like myself who don't necessarily rate the manager, I can appreciate that. We need to just be together, get the job done against United, and be done with it. We already know he's going to stay. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it is up to you. But he is going to stay, and he's going to be the Chelsea manager next season. This is apparently a 2-year project where he was given 5 years as a sign of good faith. And that was what the club offered the manager. And to be fair, like I appreciate the fact that they're sticking to this one. I always felt like they should have just done this last year and stuck with Poch. Again, opinions, whatever you want to call it. But they want to do it with Maresca. At least they're actually doing it. At least they're. If you're going to back a man, then fucking back him. But you can't just back him by not sacking him. You've got to back him by giving him better players as well. And that way you'll be able to see him perform, hopefully, at a higher level. Big up to Jordan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Big up to Yusuf as well. I hope you're well, Alex. It will be nice to see you tomorrow after the game, hopefully after a win. Big up Latimus Prime. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you in the building. Jordan says, hope we get the W. Big up to Pels as well. Good to see you. Yeah, listen. Where we are right now, where we stand, we are in a very different situation to where we were a couple of weeks ago. In some ways good, in other ways not so good. From a transfer perspective, I think we can look at this, and it's slightly worrying if we're totally honest. But it seems to have been a little bit of a niggle with regards to Dean Huijsen and Real Madrid. Now, according to Alex Crook, who works for TalkSport, sources close to Dean Huijsen suggesting he will pull out if personal terms are not agreed by tomorrow. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to this whatsoever. I mean, that does seem a little bit extreme. Why would he pull out of a deal for Real Madrid? Why would you give them such a deadline? I don't know. It just doesn't really make much sense to me. Does anyone think there's any actual truth to this? Do we believe what we're reading here? I mean, we heard about the offer for Dean Huijsen previously, and Bournemouth and Madrid seem to be having very productive talks. I mean, Madrid have already come out and said they're willing to meet the £50 million release clause. It's like it's done. As a Chelsea fan, I accept that we're not going to beat Real Madrid for the signature of this player. If you can't accept that, I don't understand what you think we offer that they don't. Except extremely long contracts. Maybe that's something. And obviously London. But I think it's a no-brainer for Dean Huijsen. If he's as ambitious as you would think any player is that's playing at this level, then you just go to Madrid, wouldn't you? But there seems to be something that's pulled up. Something's come up, and maybe we'll see something happening. I mean, Sky have also reported Dean Huijsen wants his personal terms with Real Madrid to be sorted by the weekend. If not, he could consider options from a long list of clubs: Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Tottenham. Not really sure why Tottenham are in the conversation, but anyway. He's got a sense of humour, this journalist. He's got a sense of humour. Or maybe Dean Huijsen's got a sense of humour. He's just entertaining the idea, but not really. He's just flirting, isn't he? He's not actually going to go there. I just don't get it. I don't understand why you're giving Madrid a deadline. Sometimes these deals take a few weeks to get done. Sometimes, it goes down to the end. You either want to go or you don't want to go. I don't see what's so difficult about that. But from his perspective, he is obviously keen to just get his future sorted. But I don't see what the rush is. The Premier League season's not even over. What is the rush here? Big up to Gemma. I hope you're doing well. I'm very well, thank you. Big up to Yug as well. I hope you're doing well. Amir, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, buddy. How are you feeling about tomorrow's game? And what's your score prediction? My prediction is Chelsea 3 and United 1. I'm going to agree with that. I agree. I'm predicting the same scoreline, 3-1 to Chelsea. Fingers crossed. Absolutely, Rachel, 100%. And he says Mount scores a double. Bloody hell, mate. Come on. But we've had a Havertz scoring against us. It wouldn't surprise me, but no, I don't even think Mount plays. I think Mount's rested for that game. I remember Charlie saying in the studio that a manager has to stay for at least more than one season. Can't be sacking managers after just one season, in my opinion, because there'll be no stability. And that is absolutely a fair argument. I agree with that. Because I personally don't rate a lot of news these days unless it's here we go. Listen, it's all speculation as far as we know. I don't know whether it's true. You don't know if it's true, but that's what's out there. So you can believe it, you can not believe it. But I'm just telling you what it is. So that's totally up to you. You take what you want to take from it. So yeah, that's the situation with regards to Dean Huijsen. I'm really surprised, to be honest with you. I don't understand why there's such urgency from the player. Why can't he just be a little bit more patient? Give it a week. You haven't even been linked with Madrid in terms of like official bids for at least what? It's only been 2-3 days, not even that. So it doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, listen, there's always things going on. Now, in terms of Real Madrid as well, interesting coming out. The former Man United scout Mick Brown says Rudiger's days at Chelsea are over. I've heard whispers he could leave Real Madrid when Ancelotti leaves. He's always up for a fight. He could cause a row in a phone box, and Chelsea do need a bit of that. But he's well into his 30s now, and that's not the type of player that they're looking at. But again, compromises can be made. We've heard this, in terms of PR, all the rest of it, that Chelsea are willing to sign older, more experienced players if they believe that those are the right ones for the project. Can we not just sign some players with the footballing model in mind? Does it all have to be about resale value? Is that all we're doing now? Is that really where we are? I think Rudiger would be a great signing. I think he'd be a great signing. He brings a mentality to this team. And Lord knows we need whatever mentality we can get, because even if we get Champions League, I'm just not convinced, because what we should be doing is I'm not saying we should be challenging for the title this season, but we should have already solidified ourselves in the Champions League. We should have already been comfortably, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games to spare. That's where we should have been. And that frustrates me. If we had players like Rudiger in this squad, it would have been a lot less likely that something like that would have happened. Now, individual mistakes in many games this season, obviously missing key players at times, that doesn't help. But this is where we need to help ourselves, help the gaffer as well, give him something to work with. More on Real Madrid as well. Ben Jacobs saying Real Madrid are willing to let Rodrygo go. And Chelsea are interested, are aware of that market opportunity. This is according to the London Blue Pod. Listen, I've heard this news about Rodrygo before, and I'm very keen on Rodrygo. I think Rodrygo would be a great player for us. The only thing that I'm not keen on is the price. I think it's too much money. I think that it's too much. Real Madrid paid a decent amount for Rodrygo. They paid a decent amount, didn't they? But I'm hearing 85 million euros or pounds or whatever it is. I just don't. Where does that number? I mean, to be fair, like if you're looking to get resale value, then I'm not sitting here saying that Real Madrid can't demand that. Of course they can. He's been at the club for a number of years now. He's 24 years old. He's kind of coming to the peak of his career, but this is a guy with 12 GA and 30 in La Liga, 7 GA out of 12 in the Champions League. He's got a decent record there. And, listen, he's a good player. He's a very good player. He's a player that Madrid have been able to count on. And there's no disputing that. There's absolutely no disputing that. When they signed him, he was 18 years old. And his market value was 40 million euros. Now, according to Transfer Market, his market value has gone up by over double. He's worth 110 million euros. Sorry. His highest market value was 110. His current value is 100. So if they were demanding 80 million pounds, that's pretty much near to that amount. I just struggle to see. I don't know. I mean, they paid 45 million euros for the guy. If we offered 65 million euros, that's a profit of 20 mil. And you're going to get his wages off of your books, which we know in the PSR market and FFP, all the rest of it. I don't know how it works in Spain exactly. Like these things are all these things. There's no point of having a player who you don't want there in the first place. And Madrid are going to want to spend money and bring other players in. So let's negotiate a fair deal. If it's going to happen, I don't have an issue spending 65 million on Rodrygo. I don't have a problem spending 70 mil. But I think that once you start to get to 75 mil, higher than that, 80 million, that's a number that, I'm not sitting here saying that we're going to have an Anthony, because Rodrygo's a much more proven player than Anthony. He's proved himself at Madrid. He hasn't been a world beater there, but he's been solid. I mean, if he wasn't good, then he wouldn't be getting regular game time. He's playing a lot of games for Real Madrid. He's played a lot of games under Carlo Ancelotti. Give you an idea, I mean, this season, he's been involved in 30 La Liga games, 12 Champions League games, 43 if you include the UEFA Cup, 47, 49 games as it stands this season, 49 games. This is not a guy that is just, a bench warmer. He plays consistently, but for whatever reason, Madrid still aren't particularly interested in keeping him. So I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. But then the question is, should it be a priority? And the answer is no, it should not be a priority. You do not prioritize Rodrygo over Osimhen. You do not prioritize a winger over a centre-back. Those positions, in my opinion, are just more important. I would rather sign Mark Guehi and Dean Huijsen than Rodrygo. For me, that's more important. I would rather sign Osimhen. I'd rather get a striker in. We know that we're going to have reinforcements in the midfield. We know we're going to have a new goalkeeper. Well, fingers crossed Petrovic is coming back. There's obviously an argument that we need depth for Cucurella, especially with Vega's being sold as well. Probably a good chance that he will be. Juventus are interested. And, they were very happy with him before he got injured. Amir says, Rodrygo, 85 million, Osimhen, 100. I think Osimhen's a little bit cheaper. Osimhen will be about 70 or 80 as well. But you know, it's not just about what we're thinking in terms of how do I describe it? We're thinking everything that we talk when we're speaking on this stream. We're thinking of the footballing side. Will this player benefit the team? How will he benefit the team? But that's not everything that's being thought about. A lot of this stuff is financial. Okay, everything's about money. Everything comes down to money. Money is the bottom line when it comes to the ownership and the people that run Chelsea. And this is what we have to understand: is if it doesn't make sense financially speaking, as in it's not profitable, as in it won't flip a profit or generate revenue at some point in the future, it won't happen. And every signing that we do has that in mind. Now, there are exceptions to that. I don't think that Fernandes and Caicedo were signed on the assumption that they'd be flipped for a profit. You don't spend 100 million on a player just to resell them. But I do think that now when we're looking at a lot of players, even players like Rodrygo, as I've stated, I think these things certainly have an impact. Did I see Matisse's new video? No, I did not see his video. Absolutely devastated. Got scammed for Nottingham Forest tickets by a guy called Fuad. That's not good. Does he have Twitter? How did he scam me, man? That's not good at all. That's horrible. Well, I hope you managed to find some new tickets because that's going to be a fantastic game to go to in terms of atmosphere. And there's obviously a lot on the line as well. Very strange. Glenn Johnson said, if I were Liverpool, I would be doing everything I could to sign Marc Cucurella. He would be my first choice Robertson replacement. Can I just say that is not going to happen? It's never going to happen. Cucurella, also another player. I mean, this just proves that the model is just strange, isn't it? Some of the players that we sign for big money, in fact, our best players are the ones that we sign for big money. It's just Cucurella, Fernandes, Caicedo. Palmer was 45 mil. He wasn't cheap, if we're being honest. Paid an inflated price for him. You spend money and ultimately it's going to stick at some point. He lists his 3 ideal transfers: Osimhen, Rodrygo, and Romero to add some fight into our defense. I wouldn't sign Romero. I would sign Osimhen. For me, it would be Osimhen, Dean Huijsen, and Mark Guehi. And if I was to add another player, I would add Jonathan Tah, another centre-back. And I would replace Tosin with Jonathan Tah. I would sell Tosin and replace him with Jonathan Tah, because then you're making some money. That's good business, but you're also getting an upgrade. So you can justify it from a footballing perspective. Jonathan Tah has the height, but he also has the quality and the experience to be able to fill that role and bring something into this team. But we know he's obviously negotiating with Bayern Munich. So I think it's very doubtful that we will see Jonathan Tah coming to Chelsea, but that would be very ideal in my eyes. But no, I don't think Cucurella is going anything. I don't even think Liverpool will be particularly, well, I'm sure they'd be keen on Cucurella, but I don't think that's a realistic deal. This is a guy that, they're already, they're going for the Bournemouth left back, Kirkaz, whatever his name is. That's who they're going for. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. He seems to fit, that Robertson style more than Cucurella. I think Cucurella is a very well-suited player to Maresca, if I'm honest, that type of system. So I do think he'd be good under Slot as well. I mean, he's just a top player. Top players play well under, different managers and different teams. But no, I don't think Cucurella is going anywhere. I don't think that that is a deal that has any real substance. I mean, this is just Glenn Johnson saying, if I was Liverpool. You are not Liverpool. You are Glenn. All right? I don't know what that source is. It says WDW bingo. Glenn? Yeah, not happening, man. You think our wingers are good enough? Agree with Tarshout, of course, but Romero only has 1 year left. I don't see him renewing. Well, if that's the case, Lorenzo, get the Garner free if nobody else is going to buy him. I don't know if Tottenham are going to try and flip him anyway. I think from a Tottenham perspective, you'd be desperate to keep him. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see, obviously. But no, Romero's not a priority for me. If you can get him on a free, sure thing. Get him on a free, fair play. But no, I don't think that's the way to go. In all honesty, I don't think that's the way to go. For me, I prioritize 2 centre-backs and a striker. A winger is not a priority. But again, Rodrygo is a player that you could make an exception for the right price. But that does not mean you neglect the other areas I've spoken about. That means you still have to address those areas. And then on top of that, you have a winger. And that's why I don't have a big issue with Jamie Gittins coming in, because I'm like, well, okay, if you sign me a striker and 2 centre-backs, and I know I've got Andre Santos, Asugo, and Petrovic coming in, I feel like I can justify why Jamie Gittins is not a signing I can complain about, because we've upgraded so many other areas of the team. And I stand by that view, regardless of which winger we get. Although I will say that Garnacho would just be strange. That would just be a very strange transfer. Just no, not for me, guys. Not for me. So, yeah, that's what's going on with Mark Cucurella. Ben Jacobs, who's on the London Blue Pod again, he said Liam Delap. He had an update about Delap. He said he's quite keen on United, Man United. It's not to say that Delap doesn't appreciate the Chelsea pitch. He's very well known to people like Enzo Maresca and Joe Shields. It's more that Delap is quite intent on going back to the northeast if he can. That means that Manchester United might have an advantage away from the football pitch. Very strange. So basically, he's saying that he wants to live up north. It's got nothing. London usually wins that battle. So there you go. The tides are changing. That's not even football. That's just personal. Can I just say that I actually agree with Delap on that? If I was a footballer and I had the opportunity to live in London or Manchester, I would live in Manchester. I think Manchester's nicer. I think it's more fun. I think the people are friendlier. I think quality of life is better in Manchester. I'm talking if you have money to spend. Now, in my case, that might be £100 on an away day or 50 quid on an away day, whatever it is. But what does 50 quid get you in London and what does 50 quid get you in Manchester? I guarantee you get more for your money in Manchester. I've had some of the best away days in Manchester. So, listen, I don't even blame him if that's the case. But if United don't get Champions League, I mean, fucking hell. And they still beat us to Delap. That is embarrassing, isn't it? That's a little bit embarrassing. From a Chelsea perspective, can we not? Surely we've got to have more pull than that. That United aren't going to beat us to an Ipswich striker, even if we're getting European football and United aren't. Then again, I mean, Tottenham are also in the conversation. They could get Champions League. They could win it. Part of me is rooting for Ange, but at the same time, I'm like, it's just crap, isn't it? You don't want either of them to win it, but if you had to choose, you would always choose United. Let me know if you're in the chat, if you think that Tottenham, if you would rather Tottenham win that match, please let me know. I'm intrigued. I really am. Because I have heard some people say it. I can't believe it. Osimhen's release clause, according to Ben Jacobs, has dropped to 75 million euros, but he still wants 250,000 a week and is less inclined to fit into Chelsea's incentive-driven wage structure. It's not a case that Chelsea won't pay a certain number. It's just that you have to earn the number. Chelsea's perspective with all players is in seasons without Champions League football, there is roughly a 20% wage cut, and Osimhen is not really in favor of that. I mean, this doesn't surprise me either. But when we talk about 250K, can we just be very, very clear? So 250 grand a week, 250. Okay, we're going to times that by blah, blah, blah. That is 13 million. Okay. Now, as far as I'm aware, it was net that he wanted. So just make sure we're defining this right. Yes. So Osimhen wanted a net 13 million, okay, which is 250K a week. But that would be after tax. So actually, when you're looking at it, it's not 250 grand a week. The UK tax, what is the UK tax? UK tax on earnings over, I should say over 100K. 40%. What is that? Oh, God. Why do I do so much fucking maths, guys? Why do I do this? Just to figure out wage. $22,022, 200, bang. Calculate that. Oh my God, that's a lot of money, guys. That is a ridiculous amount of money. Is that actually what I think it is? Holy mackerel. Yeah, that's extortionate. That's like over bloody 20 million a season. Oh my God. $416K. Oh, can you imagine? You know, the thing is, I actually would respect Chelsea if they offered him the 400K, but then said you still need to take a 20% cut. If we offered him the 400K, then we have done everything in our power to bring a player that we want, that we're extremely interested in, that's obviously interested in us as well. And we have done everything. But I'm sorry, that is just extortionate. Osimhen's a top player. Okay, there's a lot of top players out there. But we are talking about Van Dijk, Salah money. He hasn't proven himself to be that good. He is fucking quality. But he has not proven himself in the Premier League. I'm sorry. You cannot justify that number. If we're accepting that, but then asking to not have the wage decrease like everybody else in the squad, he just doesn't care. Like he's a player that's driven by money. He's driven financially. He can say whatever he wants. You can say, and this is generally what you hear, isn't it? And I'm sure this was the case in the summer. Well, I'm worth this. This is what I believe I'm worth. Why would you pay me less? Well, you're clearly not worth it because nobody wants to fucking pay you that unless you go to Saudi. And you'll go to Turkey for a pay package. You're not going to Turkey for the quality of football, are you? For the Super League? Come on, guys. I just think that's crazy. I cannot believe that. Second most in the Prem. What, behind Haaland? Well, yes, if we get rid of all of them, we'd be able to afford him. But it's not a very good model just putting 400 grand on a player. I don't know. For me, I think that we'd be offering a very fair deal. Very fair deal if we were offering him 400 grand with the 20% cut. I just can't believe that. I can't believe, like, I cannot believe. It's actually like, it's a deduction of 80 grand. All right. 40% of 400 would be about 80 grand. Okay. So you're telling me you couldn't live on 320 grand a week if Chelsea weren't in the Champions League before tax? It's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. Well, I that's even stranger then, isn't it? It's fucking weird. Can you believe that? It's just stupid. What's his wage in Turkey right now? Right. Okay. So his current deal, he's on 10 million. So he doesn't want to just get paid the same. He wants a pay rise. He wants a fucking pay rise. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Listen, people can say what they want. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. But if it is true, then honestly, I can appreciate where we're coming from. Fucking hell. But the other side of it is, guys, just pull your sleeves up and pay the money and then we'll win football matches. I don't disagree with that notion. Newcastle, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich are all interested in Christopher Nkunku. Hey, listen, yeah. I would be more than happy to sell him to Bayern Munich. I don't think that Newcastle or Liverpool would make any sense. I don't think there's options. I mean, why would you sell him to direct competitors? Just don't do that. But if he goes to Bayern Munich, I think that would be a good fit. Not really sure if he would fit what company's doing, if I'm honest, because I'm pretty sure Vincent Kompany would want players capable of pressing. But I guess Harry Kane's not the biggest pressing machine in the world. He does all right, doesn't he? So it is Germany. You can get away with a little bit more out there. Yeah, for me and Nkunku, just don't sell him to a domestic rival. I don't have an issue because I think he would cause a lot of problems with another team with a manager who actually trusts him. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. What else? Ruben Amorim, talking about the Chelsea game that's coming up tomorrow. He said, I am just preparing for the game against Chelsea. That is my focus. We want to win and we want to perform. He's not going to say any different, is he? But he is going to rotate heavily. If he doesn't rotate heavily, I think it's a bit weird. I think it's honestly quite strange, to be honest with you, but I think he will. Interesting comment from Enzo Maresca as well. Tell me if am I wrong in saying that this guy has flip-flopped massively? Like he said, since day one, I said that the target that the club gave to me was in 2 years, we want to play in the Champions League. I don't think that Maresca said that on day one. If I'm not wrong, Maresca come in and said the club didn't give me a target. He then said the target is Champions League. Oh, I can't remember. But he's flip-flopped loads. He's flip-flopped quite a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. But listen, if that's the target, that's the target. Let's just take it for what it is, honestly. How is my boy Alex today? I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. A little bit tired, if I'm honest. A little bit tired. But I'm okay, dude. I'm okay. Happy to be back on stream. Happy to be going through everything to do with the club. And I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow against United. I think that's going to be a very exciting match. And I'm hoping that it can be comfortable. I mean, I'm hearing 3-1, but if it's really comfortable, it could be more. But that doesn't just depend on them. That depends on everything. I told Enzo I demand Champions League this year or else I'll be in touch with Jose. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if, to be honest with you, Todd, I don't think Begdad will allow that because Jose's wages are a little bit too high. So if you can persuade him to get Mourinho in, that is going to be absolutely fantastic. But I don't think it will happen, mate. But hey, we'll see. Anything can happen. He came in with stars in his eye. He said everything the fans wanted, but slowly has aligned more with the owner's talking points. That is the harsh reality. With regards to Osimhen as well, I mean, he wants 13 million net a season. Net after tax. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. If it was just 30 mil, then I'd be like, fair enough. Fair play. Can't dispute that. You're worth that. You're a top striker. 400k. 400k. Imagine if he's injured. If he's injured for like 2 months, how much are you blowing out on wages? It's a lot of money, guys. Anyway, so that's what Maresca had to say regarding that match. Cole Palmer also come out on Sky and spoke about Romeo Lavia. He said he's one of the best midfielders I've played with. He's been injured, but I think everyone will realize soon that he will be one of the best midfielders in the world. And I don't think Palmer's wrong, but we haven't really seen Lavia rising up to his levels because he's not been available a lot of the time. So, it is what it is. Now, I see that a lot of people aren't particularly happy with Maresca's presses. So I thought, you know what? Let's fucking see what Ruben says. Hey, should we change it up? Because this is very relevant to us to see if he actually takes it seriously or not. Shit, I didn't share my tab, did I? Fuck. Sorry. My apologies. My apologies. Right, you can see it now. There you go.
Players' minutes, keeping them, sharp, or in what way can it aid your preparation for the final?
The best way is to face the game like we should face the game, is to win the game. We need to perform. We need to win points in Premier League, and that is the feeling. And that was we talk about that after West Ham. So we need to improve in the way we face competition, stay focused in every moment of the game, because against West Ham, we had clear situations to score. In the first opportunity of West Ham, they scored 1 goal. So these small details matter. And the only way I know how to prepare a final is to, in the normal game for our league, we must have the same. We must play the same way as a final.
Yeah. Ruben, on that, how will you manage the occasion on Friday with obviously the Europa League being in everyone's mind? Do you feel that there are certain players you can't take risks with for this game, or do you have to be able to get the rhythm up for Wednesday with there being a 5-day gap between the matches?
We have time to recover. The best thing to prepare the final is to play the game. And then the players have to understand that if you play or don't play against Chelsea, It means nothing to the final. That is important. I'm just preparing the game of Chelsea. That is my focus, and we want to win and to perform.
How close will your 11 be against Chelsea that it will be for the final?
Good
Like I said to you, I don't know. I know already the starting 11 that
That was a good question. Yeah, is it going to be a similar 11? I mean, you'd hope not from our perspective.
I'm thinking for Chelsea. Then I will see. Even the way we play there against Chelsea, I will see it, and is going to be important for the next one.
So players have still got the chance to make the final,
Yes.
even if they're not in your mind now in that Chelsea game.
That is clear. Chris,
Thank you.
Is there any concern on your part that players will not be as focused on Chelsea with the final around the corner, and also particularly they might be concerned about getting knocked and maybe some injuries?
It's going to be a massive part this game to the next one. So we need to perform, and they need to perform. That is important thing. Then we are going to the same way. If there is a player that can get an injury, is not recover for this game, he can put in risk the final, he will not play. But if it's not that situation, we'll have a lot of time to recover, and we cannot spend like 8 days, 9 days without a game. That is a bad thing for the final. So no, I think they will be prepared for the game.
Are there any players that are kind of ring fenced though that you have to keep fit? I asked that because I saw your face when you got the news about Yoro from the medic, I presume, and Tottenham have just announced that Kulusevski's had surgery, so I guess that means he's out of the final as well as Madison.
No, Lenny was the same as Mata. I was thinking about even the next year, the squad. If we need another guy, if he's a long long injury, that is my concern. It's not about just the final. Of course, I want every player fit, but Lenny Yoro was in his foot. He had that problem. I was so concerned about the next season, the next squad, the way we build up the squad. That was my biggest concern. The rest will be ready for the final, no matter what.
Well, when Lenny went off, you took Luke Shaw off straight away. Was that a kind of insurance policy or not?
Yeah, it was clear that we cannot take a risk in several players. That was to save especially that kind of position.
I mean, that says a lot about what you think about Luke Shaw.
No, it's not. It's the history. It's not what is going to be. It's the history, and then we have to manage the minutes like Mason Mount. Mason Mount is ready, but we are trying to build these guys a little bit longer for them to cope. Then in the future, they will be okay.
Last question.
You mentioned there about small margins. We've spoken to some of the players down there, and they're sort of saying that if you look at the league table, it looks as if you're miles off the pace, but and actually in games, you've still been in games. Do you think that the Premier League form is quite close to being? I know it's hard for you to say that, but does it feel quite close to clicking?
Yeah, it's hard to talk about that without looking like a crazy guy. But if you see the XG, for example, in the last games, ours is bigger. And you can see against Wolves, we are so near, and they score a goal set pieces. This game was the first time that they reach our goal and they score, and we had that opportunity, especially in the second half. So I can understand that, manage that, but it's hard to talk about that in this moment. Let's focus on finishing a good way, and then we'll prepare the future in the end of the season.
There you go. So that was what Rumen Amorim had to say before the match. We don't have to listen to Maresca every time. To be fair, I think this is a game which is very relevant to hear what Amorim's saying, because I think that the fact that, well, understanding his mentality, his team's mentality going into this game is a huge factor in the way it's going to go. I'm not saying that United are going to play us off the park even if they start their best team, but if they're rotating, that gives us a supreme amount of confidence. And yeah, I think that we need to use that. And we need to not just play with confidence, but play with a bit of aggression as well. If we're playing against kids, let's prove why they're kids. bully them. Don't just beat them, bully them. Make life difficult, make life hard. Push them. Don't even give them the chance to push. Just fucking do them. You know, like when you're in the park and you're at school and, you know, I don't know how old you were. You're 14 and you're playing against some kids who are 2 years younger. Makes a difference. If you're older, you're better generally at school. And I feel like it should be one of those games on Friday where Chelsea just look like a more experienced team with a bit more chemistry because we've won more games. We're having a better time this season than United are by far. And it's a home fixture. So we've got a lot of things in our favor, especially the fact that they're going to be rotating as well. These are all factors to consider. Now, looking at Chelsea as well, Christopher Nkunku is the only player that is out due to injury, and Mark Guiu is still recovering following his own absence. Maresca is looking for a solution to our striker shortage. Reece James, though, is going to be available, even though he missed training earlier in the week. Maresca confirmed that Nkunku is out in his pre-match press conference. He said Reece is now okay. He was out with illness for 2 sessions. Yesterday, he had a session with us, which is good. We don't have Nico for this game, and we are working on that. Unfortunately, we don't have many options. Unfortunately, Mark is still coming back from injury. He has started to train with us recently, but is not ready to start. So we are working on different options for Friday in the absence of Nico. If we look at the last 5 meetings between Chelsea and Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, it is a relatively interesting group of results to look at. You've got the 2-0 loss in 2020. I'm pretty sure Pogba scored both of the goals in that game. 0-0 in 2021. 1-1. 1-1 again. And 4-3, which was unbelievable. I cried during that game. Fucking great game that was. If you didn't cry during that, if you didn't cry after that, I don't know what to say, honestly. Should we watch it? No, we've got to watch it, haven't we? We've got to fucking watch it. Surely we've got to watch it. Come on. Come on, people. Come on! Let's have it. God, every time we play United, I've got to play this song, man. I swear down. Well, that's now. Good memories, guys. Good memories. Beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Go on, Cole.
Decision penalty.
Come on! How long does it take? Yeah. Suck it, baby. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Thing is, I don't need to skip because it all happened in such a short space of time. Will Sterling give it away. Classic. All right. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it. I don't want to get emotional on stream here, guys. I don't want to get emotional on stream. I actually still tear up watching that video sometimes. Not today, though. We're not having it today. All right, leave the emotions to one side. It's all tactics. We're talking football here. Good to see you in the chat, Philip. Good to see you as well, Michael. I hope you're doing well. What is my prediction? My prediction is 3-1 to Chelsea. That is my prediction. My honest odds of getting top 5. I put it 60% in favor. Would not bet my house on it. I would agree with those odds. But I think that there's a good chance we get let down. We'll have to wait and see. Hope you're doing well, Philip. Okay, let's just finish it off. We're going to round up with our predicted 11 going into this match. We've got the lineup builder. Obviously, we're going to have Robert Sanchez in goal. He's going to be our keeper for this match. Defending on the left, Cucurella. We'll do the easy ones first, and then we'll fill in the more difficult spots. We'll have Colwell. I don't think there's any disputes on that. And then who do we play in this role? I think most likely you end up seeing Chalobah. Although I don't have a problem with Tosin against United. I don't have a massive problem with that. But we'll go with the sake of stability. We'll say Chalobah, but I don't have an issue with Tosin. But we'll say Chalobah. On the right, Gusto is available based on what I'm hearing from Maresca. James is also available. I guess it depends how available he is. But I don't have an issue playing Josh Achimpong in this match if we need to. We're playing against 17th in the table United, guys. So I think that we've got to have a level of confidence with the fact that we can rotate 1 or 2 players and we'll still be fine. So I'm going to say this. This is what I want. And then we'll do what we actually think is going to happen. But this is what I want. Okay. I want to see Enzo in there. I want to see Caicedo in there. I want to see... Well, actually, fuck. What am I talking about? Lavia is available, isn't he? Oh, you've got to play Lavia, haven't you? You've got to play Lavia. You can't get away with not having Lavia. You got to do everything in your power to get that man as many minutes as he can while he's fit. I don't even think that's a debate. Is anyone going to argue with that? Is anyone going to dispute that? And then we're going to have Neto up. Well, I tell you what, I'd give George a chance, honestly. I would give George a chance up top. I'd have Madueke on the right, and I would have Sancho on the left. That is what I would do going into this match. And I think that, I think that would give us enough, to be honest with you. I think that would give us enough. I think that's enough to beat United. Bastards. Fuck's sake. All right. Well, in that case, you're sort of putting me in a bit of a corner here. That's what I have to do then if I can't play Sancho. Have I missed anyone? I think that's probably your best. Well, that is your best 11. Does anyone have any disagreements with that squad? Have a good one, Michael. All the best. I mean, I'd give Josh Achimpong a chance, but hard to dispute Lavia. Christian says, take George out, put Reece in right back, and put Enzo in the 10. So what are you saying? You're saying take him out. Who am I putting in? You're going to put Enzo in the 10. So what you're going to put... fucking hell, what am I doing here? Come on, Alex, wake up. Put Palmer on the right, put Madueke on the left, and then put James as a right back like that. Is that what you mean? Fuck's sake. Is that what you're saying? Am I right in... Okay. I see what you mean. Does everybody agree with that? I mean, this is, again, what we want, not necessarily what we think Maresca's going to do. Let me ask you this then. What do we actually think Maresca will do as opposed to what we want? So what do we really think he's going to do? Because I think that he'll probably end up... well, I'm certain that it will be Caicedo and there, James and there, Palmer and there, Madueke there, and then I think it's going to be, for fuck's sake, who did I take off? Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo. Who was my left winger? Terry George. There's not a lot of options here, is there? Because you can't play Sancho. I guess the only other thing that I would tweak, really, I mean, obviously everyone knows that I like Palmer in the middle. On the right, but that won't happen. So I guess that's the only other thing you could do is you could put George up top instead of Neto. Apart from that, you're really lacking options. There's just not many players to look at and make a decision on. So, hey, listen, who knows? Let me also go through some more news. So that's my predicted lineup going into this game, guys. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I've said. Interesting as well, caught offside. They've been very prevalent in this window so far. I've heard a lot from caught offside, so I think we do take this with a pinch of salt. But interesting as well still to see what they've said, because then we can find out if it's right or wrong later down the line. Chelsea are understood to have called their interest in Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho, as they are instead making Borussia Dortmund's Jamie Gittens their top target. Sources close to the situation have informed Court Offside that Chelsea have made contact over signing Garnacho in January, but are now focusing on Gittens for this summer. However, there is no shortage of suitors for Garnacho, as Man United remain open to selling Argentina international for a suitable offer. After also showing a strong interest back in January, there will be at least, for fuck's sake, Napoli. I don't know why I keep skipping things out. Napoli are also keen on Garnacho, basically. They'll probably be going back in for him. Also, apparently, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen, and Juventus are interested. Lord knows why. And then they talk about Garnacho. If you look at the GA this season, Garnacho is slightly ahead of Jamie Gittens in terms of... Jamie Gittens, he's got 11 goals, 9 assists. Jamie Gittens got 12 and 3. It says that Garnacho might have really big potential, but he's not really done enough in the United shirt, especially this season, to justify making him a key player at Stamford Bridge. Gittins arguably looks like he has a higher ceiling, so that could be the best option for CFC as they look to upgrade on the likes of Sancho and Pedro Neto. So yeah, that's what's come out regarding Gittins as well. Who knows if anything actually comes of it. Big up to everyone that's watching as well. We've got over 65 of you in the building. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. It helps a lot. Doesn't cost anything. Let's get up to 60 likes on the video. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel in another way, you can always subscribe if you haven't already either. And I appreciate your time, guys. I appreciate everyone watching for the evening show. We will be back tomorrow at lunchtime for a preview. So looking forward to jumping on now. I'll be releasing a little video as well talking about this game. And listen, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Like that video. And I will see you tomorrow. Big up to everyone.